We begin tonight with a KVUE News Defenders investigation. Each year, Austin sets aside a portion of your tax dollars for art.
Those projects are what many say helps make Austin unique. But when we heard the city had spent thousands on a temporary art project that was made of construction barrels, we decided to do a little digging to see exactly what your money is buying. From the iconic to the ironic, everyone seems to have an opinion about Austin's art.
It's terrible. It's ugly.
Well, I think it's marvelous.
Drive around the city and you're hard-pressed not to see it.
I think that the town wouldn't be so diverse and there wouldn't be, so many activities going on here if art wasn't a big part of the city.
Family members donated the money to put up the Stevie Ray Vaughan statue at Lady Bird Lake. Another family donated the money for the famous bat sculpture at Congress Avenue. But taxpayers pay for many projects you see, including this, the Barton Barriers. Described by the artist as Austin's Stonehenge, the city pitched in $4,300 for this temporary sculpture earlier this year.
$4,300?
It's not keeping Austin weird, it's keeping it, I don't know, it's ugly.
I think it could have gone to a lot better use. Definitely, a lot better use.
Which made us wonder, how much does the city spend on art? Here's what we found. The city paid $45,000 for these blue signs under the Lamar Bridge called Moments. Another $40,000 is being spent to install programmable lights underneath this I-35 underpass.
We need programmable lights under that? I think that might be a waste.
This table, located right across the street from the Lady Bird Lake hike and bike trail, really is fit for a king. The city paid $200,000 for it, which has some people wondering, who decides what's art?
The city is not in the position to necessarily say what is art.
For 13 years, Megan Krieger has been in charge of the city's Art and Public Places project, one of the ways the city funds art. Artists help decide which projects are selected and how much they're worth. Then, ultimately, the city council has the final say.
All in favor say aye.
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 2% of the city's construction budget funds art and public places every year.
New projects coming online every year might average $200,000 to $300,000 based on that 2%.
About how much?
That $300,000 a year is on top of donations and other funding sources. Remember those blue signs under Lamar? The city took $45,000 from the hotel occupancy tax to pay for them. All of this comes at a time when the city is tightening its belt, cutting traditions like the Trail of Lights, leaving job openings vacant.
I know that the economy has stayed pretty strong in Austin compared to other places, but I feel like we could maybe be spending our money elsewhere.
It turns out Austin's 2% is right in line with many other big Texas cities. Houston sets aside 1.75% of its construction budget for art. Dallas budgets 1.5%.
I think it's very fair.
Austin is currently spending $87,000 to construct this skate park, almost as much as it paid for this carved railing along Cesar Chavez by Deborah Mursky.
I was satisfied with the budget.
If you look closely, the carved aluminum is in the shape of objects you might have seen floating down the river, and embedded in those shapes are pictures of the two major floods in Austin. From the historic to the hysterical, there are just as many different pieces of art as there are opinions about it.
Anything that makes the downtown an interesting place for people to come.
But maybe they need to rethink what they're doing, with the budget.
I think that adds to the richness of the conversation, quite frankly.
Or it's further proof art really is in the eye of the beholder. Now, artists can only pocket up to 15% of the total amount of the cost of a project. To see how much the city has paid for various projects across the city and to check out some of the art and public places projects, just look for this story at KVUE.com.